You got about 30 days until TikTok is completely banned. Or will it be? That's what we will be finding out come January 19th of 2025. That's supposed to be the day that TikTok is banned forever in the US unless its parent company ByteDance decides to sell to an American company, which they have said time and time again that they don't want to do. Now, ironically enough, and we're not going to get into politics with this, but January 19th is the day before Trump officially takes power over the office of the president once again. So if TikTok does get banned on January 19th, technically it's going to be on Joe Biden's watch. This is all based on a law that was passed back in April of 2024 that is forcing the sale of this company to an American company. And if they don't want to do it, then there's just going to be no more TikTok in the United States. But some people say that no matter what happens, that the ban isn't going to happen. And you know why? The almighty dollar, the thing that we care about the most here in this country above all else, money. But we'll get into the money aspect of it and why it might not happen in a little bit. First of all, there's about 170 million Americans who use TikTok, so obviously it's very popular. You have roughly half the country on it, and banning it will cause all kinds of implications for the people who use it, for the people who earn a living off of it, for businesses that use it, all kinds of problems. This potential ban is one of the main reasons I decided to not post any of my YouTube shorts there anymore, because I just didn't really want to waste any time and effort with it in case it actually does get banned. Now, the main reason the United States wants TikTok or ByteDance to be sold to an American company is because ByteDance is a Chinese company, and there's a lot of national security laws in China that compel businesses and other organizations to assist the government in intelligence gathering. And it's already been proven that they use TikTok for this, first of all. But besides that, it's also been proven that the type of content that is curated for especially America's youth on TikTok is completely different from the type of content than you would see for a Chinese child. Chinese children learn educational things, how to tie their shoes, how to organize their rooms, different things like that, things that kids should need to know. And here in the United States, kids get exposed to all kinds of ridiculous garbage that rots their mind. And some even say this is directly on purpose to turn America into a bunch of idiots. Earlier this month, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia actually upheld the law, and they said that there is a legitimate national security concern that outweighs any free speech rights of TikTok or its users. So the Supreme Court is essentially upholding the upcoming ban and saying that it is going to happen unless something changes. TikTok has been appealing this ruling, but of course, going back to what I said earlier, one of the main reasons why TikTok may not get banned is because of money. TikTok makes billions of dollars for itself and its millions of users and business owners that use it. The idea that it's simply just going to go away after January 19th is not really how things work in America, because when too many people have too much at stake to lose, then there's always some kind of workaround. There's always something that happens at the last minute to come in and save the day. Just like when the government threatens shutdowns, just like every time it looks like we're running out of money, they print more. Just like it looks like every time the economy's crashing, they come in and add more stimulus to delay it a little bit longer, things like that. So with so many people with so much to lose, the odds of TikTok just going down on January 20th and no one can use it anymore are probably slim to none. And I agree with this because of everything I just said. When there's this much money involved, somebody's going to figure something out before it's too late, and that's what I think is going to happen. But there are reports that there are several private equity firms that are already in discussion with ByteDance to buy the company, but ByteDance has said time and time again that they won't sell the company. So whether or not this is going to happen is yet to be seen. But even if they don't sell, I feel like some other kind of workaround will happen at the last minute that will allow TikTok to continue to operate. But it is kind of problematic when you look at some of the companies that are looking at buying TikTok, like Oracle, Walmart, Microsoft, who knows, maybe Amazon even on the list too. Like, these companies already have so much data about us as Americans. Do we really need them owning a social media company too and using that to even further gain more data about us? Nobody likes their privacy being invaded, but did you know that your privacy could be invaded without you even being aware of it? If you've ever bought anything online or given your email address to any website, chances are a lot of your personal information is out there on the internet. Even if you never did any of this stuff, it probably is still out there on the internet thanks to companies like data brokers. And what data brokers do is they sell your information to anybody who wants it, which is why today's video is sponsored by DeleteMe. DeleteMe is a hands-free subscription service that will remove your personal information that's being sold online, and DeleteMe's privacy experts remove you from hundreds of data brokers all year long. They're constantly monitoring different websites on your behalf to make sure that your information is being scraped from the internet, and you can even make custom removal requests if you find out that your information is on a website that you don't approve of. So if you want to take back your online privacy, make sure you sign up for DeleteMe and get 20% off your DeleteMe subscription by joining today using my link down below or use the QR code on the screen. Trump promised on his campaign trail that he was going to somehow save TikTok, which we'll get to in just a minute here. But the Circuit Court of Appeals has said the law is constitutional and in fact necessary in order to protect Americans' right to free speech. But people are getting worried about this because even just a small disruption in TikTok going down, even for a few days or a week or something like that, it would disrupt billions of dollars worth of advertising contracts. It would scare off potential business partners and accelerate the creators' shift away from the platform, which is what I was saying. Like, I don't post anything there because I don't want to invest in something that could potentially be gone soon. Now, the only thing that Trump can really do once he actually becomes president again on January 20th is he has the power to give ByteDance a one-time 3-month extension to facilitate a sale of TikTok to a non-Chinese firm. That's it. All they can do is give an extension. So that's probably what they're likely to do since they're kind of at a stalemate right now and everybody's out of options. Trump will probably give them the extension, most likely, if it doesn't get banned first. And then they'll have essentially another 90 days. They'll have roughly until the end of April or so to figure out and finalize the sale once and for all, or be banned. But if TikTok actually does go down on January 19th, it'll be really good for Trump because he'll be able to blame it on Biden and see, hey, look, this is another thing Biden did. He took away TikTok. All I can do is laugh about this because it's just like a game of kindergartners, you know, like he did this and she did that. And of course, Trump can come back as the hero and say, hey, look, I saved the day. I brought TikTok back. But Trump is explicitly prohibited by law from signing off on any agreement to address national security concerns, like the data sharing limitations and the algorithm audits. The law states that any sale of TikTok is not adequate when it establishes or maintains any operational relationship between the new TikTok and any formerly affiliated entities that are controlled by a foreign adversary, i.e. ByteDance, including any cooperation with respect to the operation of content recommendation algorithm or an agreement with respect to data sharing. So it seems like the Supreme Court is dead set and serious on banning TikTok if they don't comply with this sale. So that's why it's like, is it gonna happen? Is it not gonna happen? Obviously there is a lot of money at stake, and you know, I don't know how I feel about this, guys. On the one hand, I understand how it does violate Americans' First Amendment rights to information and free speech and all of this by using the platform. But on the other hand, if the Chinese government is in fact using TikTok to spy on us and gather intelligence data about the US, do we really want that happening? I don't think so. The problem is you don't know who to believe. You don't know if this is being done out of malicious intent by the US government to try and promote censorship and start taking away our rights as Americans, or if the Chinese government is the evil one here. Because honestly, at this point, you can't really trust anybody, including our own government. Well, here's your extreme story for the day. This house was sold back in 2018 for $4.75 million, then turned around, listed it for sale for $19.9 million in 2021. And if you think that wasn't bad enough, in February of this year, they actually relisted the house for sale for $39 million. And now they've already cut the price by 5 million and they're down to about 35 million. So another crazy expensive house that's probably never going to sell and will be on the market until the end of time here in Miami. The law also says that American companies like Google, Apple, Oracle, and Amazon could face enormous fines and penalties for helping keep TikTok online in violation of the law. So essentially, if you have an iPhone, you have an Android phone, or anything like that, they have to make it so that stops working as of the ban. They can't circumvent this without facing steep penalties of their own. But TikTok is saying, listen, if this ban gets upheld, then Congress will have free rein to ban any American from speaking simply by identifying some risk that the speech is influenced by a foreign entity. So this is very clever wordplay that ByteDance's attorneys are using here in order to make it look like the American government is the bad guy. Then again, who is anybody from China to say anything about freedom of speech? Because clearly that's something they don't have in China. So for them to even attack this issue, to me, seems hypocritical. So basically what ByteDance is trying to do right now is they're trying to get the law delayed so that way it doesn't go into effect as soon as January 19th. They say simply just delaying it won't pose any immediate threat to national security, even if there is one. And also they're saying, listen, even if we did decide to sell it, a sale wouldn't be possible in the time frame that's left. So we're going to need an extension no matter what. So you can pretty much guarantee there's going to be some sort of extension on this thing. For how long and what are going to be the terms, we'll find out come the middle of January, but there probably will be. Just like with anything, the more you try to ban something or prohibit something, that just makes it even more popular. And this potential ban, if it doesn't happen, could end up making TikTok more popular than ever. So let us all know in the comments, is TikTok something you use regularly? Should it be banned? Shouldn't it be banned? And give your reasons why. And earlier I mentioned that Walmart could be one of the potential buyers of TikTok. And I saw an interesting story about them today. What they're doing now is they are starting to put body cameras on some of its workers in their stores. So what they're hoping this is going to do is to create a deterrent for bad behavior by customers. But it turns out Walmart is not the only store that's starting to do this now. And it turns out that TJ Maxx is doing this as well. And they say what it does is it de-escalates people right away. You know, if they're thinking about stealing something or they're thinking about causing some sort of an incident, the cameras automatically tone down that behavior, and it's been working so far. And I can see why. Most people don't like being filmed. Even when I'm here on YouTube and I run into people, some people are like, they want to stop and say hi, but they don't want to be on camera. So just know that if you stop and say hi to me, you're probably going to make it in the video. Saying hi to me is an automatic admission of saying you want to be in the video as far as I'm concerned. But honestly guys, going back to Walmart or any other big American company owning this, really all you're doing is you're transferring the ownership of this data and how it's collected from a Chinese company to an American company, and they're still going to be ripping all this data off of you as much as they can. So just make sure you go and check out my sponsor DeleteMe, because this will at least help you reclaim some of that data and privacy for yourself. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And if you don't want to wait for my next video to come out, check out this one on the screen right over here, and I'll see you in the next one.